All right, here we go for episode 36 of To Hell with the Podcast, where we talk and do all things Stryper. And I think we've got a fun episode on tap for you guys today. I'm pretty excited. It's going to be a little bit different, but we'll get to that in just a moment. But my name's Tim, and I do want to welcome my co-host who's messing with his microphone at the moment, trying to get it to stay on his table. I want to welcome my co-host, Daryl. How are you this Memorial Day morning?
I am stoked to be here. Had to get Ozzy all straightened on my mic stand. So,
Yeah, I know. I hear you. Yeah, because today we are recording. By the time you listen to this, it'll be tomorrow. So Memorial Day will be past. So I hope everybody had a nice, enjoyable weekend. But yeah, we've got a few things. We got something we're going to do a little bit differently today, because if you watched or listened to the show last week, we call ourselves, you know, die hard, and I'm putting that in quotes, Stryper fans. But last week on the show, I found, and I'm not going to go through all the questions, but we're going to have fun. We're going to see, Daryl and I are going to compete against each other this morning and see who knows the most, because I did end up ordering the Stryper Super Fan Edition Turn It Up Trivia on Stryper. There's 450 questions on here. So if you want to know, this is what the page looks like. So you can take a look at it and you can see the answers are not on the page. So we're going to go through this and we're going to compete against each other and see who has the most knowledge. Maybe we may do a couple of sections. We'll check out the time and see what it's like and see how we're going, because I still would want people to order the book and not go through all 400. I mean, shoot, we definitely wouldn't have time to go through all 450 questions, but we're going to compete with each other today because I think we do have a little of competitiveness in us.
well, of course we do. I think you're going to whip my ass.
Well,
Hey, we shall see. So,
I will say I did take a look at a couple of the questions that are not going to be in one of the sections that I looked at, and I was just like, I have no clue. I have no clue about this, but I will say this about the book. He did say, because this was done by, it's kind of funny. He just did this year because it's got a copyright of 2026. And then he said, if you find an error in the book, please send me an email and we'll fix it ASAP. He goes, I've gone through every page multiple times, had several Stryper diehard fans go through and answer the questions while checking for accuracy, but there still could be a random mistake. So please let me know if you find one. And he goes, also, there are a small handful of questions that have wrong answers pop up on an initial Google Yahoo search, but a deep dive into actual band pages and interviews show the correct answer. So, but I'm not going to, I don't want to go through all this because I do want people to go out and buy this book. It looked fun. So we're just going to maybe go through a section and have a little fun on it today.
hey, that sounds cool, man. You kind of threw me a curveball on this one because we haven't talked like as much as we usually do. So yeah, this will be fun. I am not expecting a successful result, but hey, it'll still be fun.
So, but before we get to the trivia, let's jump over to the latest on what the Stryper news desk, as we like to call it. And these are things that we just pick up throughout the week and see what the gang, not that we personally know them, I'm just calling them the gang this morning. See what the gang is saying or what they are up to. Now, the first thing is Michael Sweet made a post, and most of these are Michael Sweet's posts, and then the Stryper page will repost them. But it's interesting. He made a post yesterday and he says it's always bittersweet when a new Stryper album comes out. And he goes, it's sweet because we're very blessed to still be able to do this more than we know. There have been times in my life when I thought I may not be able to fulfill my calling to pursue my purpose, music, but through those times and after the fact, I realized that there was a purpose for the drought. Those times when things seemed so much more difficult to cultivate and to grow, to move forward. And then number two, he says it's bitter because I'm always a little apprehensive. And this is the one that kind of hit home because I see it. And I know you probably know what he's talking about here. When we release something new, even though I'm extremely happy with the final results, you never know how it's going to resonate with the fans. You just never know what to expect. And he goes, I do believe that we've somehow figured out a way to merge the past with the present, to combine the classic sound with a bit of a modern twist. But that's not always an easy thing to do. Actually, it's almost impossible. I think we've somehow structured each album in a way that showcases who we once were and who we are now. And I'm very happy about it. And I really, because I mean, I will say this, I've seen the post. I still see him to this day. You know, it's like people, instead of just hearing an album and realizing it's not 1985 and it's not 1986, but still want the album to sound or the new music to sound exactly like it was in 85 or 86 or back in the 80s. I think they've always done a good job of modernizing it with the classic Stryper sound. Because I mean, it would be the same thing. Because I mean, and we've talked about this so many times before. It's like when you hear an Eddie Van Halen riff, you don't even have to know the album, who the song's by. I just remember going, oh, like when I remember the first time I saw the movie Twister, I sat there and at the end credits, I was like, I didn't know they were doing a song, but as the end credits were rolling, I immediately knew it was Van Halen, and then of course Sammy's voice comes in, and so they still have that Stryper sound, but they've modernized it for now, but it just still doesn't seem to make people happy because it doesn't sound like 1986 or 1988 or 85, whatever it is. And I understand the bitter, like, gosh, I can't seem to. We do the best we can, but there's still people who just get so negative about the sound or how it comes across.
I think fans sometimes need to get over themselves. You're you're dealing with artists, so they're gonna evolve. They're gonna do
Exactly.
they're gonna do different things.
Hmm.
So if you're a fan of the artist, I mean, good lord, I could give you a list of artists that I've had to like. Okay, they're doing this now, and it's not even that far off from what they've always done.
Right.
But it's like, especially with Stryper, they they really haven't strayed far off the path from what they've always been, which freaking cool. Keep doing that. But yeah, I mean, they have evolved. I mean, I think more production wise than sound wise. They've kind of been, keeping to the script, but production wise, I think they've evolved more in that era or in that arena than their musical stylings. But I mean, it just I don't know. If the fans are bitching about them, okay, fine, whatever. It, Stay here or go away. I really don't care at this point because I'm serious. I mean, I'm serious. It's like you know what you're getting, dude. It's you know, and you and I've talked about this a million times. It's like the old era versus the new era. They are different. So if you can't handle it, then okay, maybe you should just check out. I don't know at this point.
Yeah, I would
So,
I would agree with you. The only thing I would probably say a little bit different is that I feel that one of the differences between the new and the old is I feel that the new is a little bit heavier throughout the album. Now, you did have your heavy songs back then, but it
very,
seems
very
to
much
be more
pleasure.
there seems to be more heavy now than the just a straight out rock song and typically if they throw a ballad on, it's like one ballad per album versus two like they used to do in the day. And so you have you have that going on. And so I think but eh, I like what you said though. People evolve. Am I the same person that I was back in 1980, 1990 when I was in my 20s? I hope not. I mean, I've evolved. I enjoy doing different things now than I did in my 20s. And I look back and I go, "Man, I was just a kid." and you mature and you grow. And, there's still some inner things that are like a major core. Like those things are going to be like my foundation. But what I build upon is a little bit differently on, how that I express myself out of that main foundation is a little bit different. But I'm not the same person I was 30 years ago. And
No,
but we expect but like you said, we expect these artists to be the exact same and sound the exact same and do the exact same because we liked them 30 years ago. And maybe that's just because we just want to be taken back to that place and time of when we were kids or and teenagers and we like the music. But like you said, things evolve, people change. But it's not like they've gone off the rails and they're doing yacht rock now. I mean, or doing R&B. Nothing against both of those. We were talking about yacht rock before the show. So it's like they're still staying true to their roots, but it's like, come on, don't because I mean the thing is that I would look at it if Stryper didn't do as many albums as they've done, and we've talked about this before, but we're going to do an album once every decade, then people would be complaining they didn't do enough new music. Yeah, I mean, so it's just like I can sense the whole bittersweet just because of what I see online, and it's just like there are some people they just can't make happy even though they call themselves fans, and it's just like, come on.
no, fans can kind of suck sometimes. I mean, you have a band that is like so consistently releasing new material, and then and you also have these other metal bands that like you said, they'll release an album once a decade, and so and the what sucks is like, okay, we're Stryper fans, and they're releasing an album like every couple of years or whatever, but it's not the same as '86, and I'm like, dude, if your job is creating music, if you had to stay in that same box, I think that would drive you insane, especially somebody like Michael Sweet, because I mean, he's got. I mean, he already has 88, and he's doing all these things, and so
I think that's why he enjoy. And again, as I've said many times, we're not affiliated with the band. We don't know them personally, but I personally think that's why he enjoys the side projects so because it gives him the ability to express himself a little bit differently than having to stay in that Striper box because this is an album you and I have talked about, the whole Soul Driver album. I mean, that was a completely different shift from, you know, what what Stryper sounds like, but he was able to use influences and things that he liked, like Journeyish, like a Journeyish type vibe, Night Ranger, Survivor. I mean, all of those kind of things came, in my opinion, came out through that album. But if he did that kind of album and said, we're going to put the Stryper name on it, then there would be people that would go, there wasn't anything heavy on this, man. This album sucks, man. Where's the headbanging stuff? Yeah, I mean, and so
where did that accent come from?
I don't know.
Jacksonville all of a sudden?
So, but I mean, but the thing so the thing is, I mean, he went on in this particular post and it was supposed we're recording on Monday. So when I say tomorrow, Tuesday. So it was supposed to come out today if you're listening or Tuesday, 5/26, but he did say we have a new song coming. It looks like it's going to be pushed back a few days to Thursday, 5/28. But he goes, it's a perfect representation of the words above. Classic with a modern spin, and that's who we are. We're excited about it. And then he goes on to say, I often wonder if there's still a strong desire to hear new Stryper music from your perspective, the fans. And I'm like, yes, because I love this new era of Stryper music.
No, totally. I mean, I know you love this. I know you love this era of Stryper, and I don't dislike it. I just like the old school stuff more, but I am very excited to see what we're gonna get going forward
Yeah.
with
And
these songs.
I mean, it was great. I mean, I know I told you this, and I'm not saying this to brag, but if you haven't checked this out and you want to have the opportunity to ever speak with Michael Sweet, go to intro something. I can't remember what it is. And it was intro.live, I think. Yeah, if you go to intro.live and see and look for Michael Sweet, and you can actually he's actually doing some meet and greets this week on the 27th and 28th, and you can pick a 10-minute time slot. And I did one of those a couple of weeks ago, and it was I tell you, the 10 minutes went by really fast. It was like, man, the 10 minutes is
Sure.
up. But the thing is, when I got on there, I didn't even really talk to him about Stryper stuff. I talked to him about the master plan and Soul Driver. But the thing that I told him about Stryper, I let him know, as I said, probably 4 out of 5 times when I go pick up a Stryper album, I'm listening to the new stuff over the old stuff. And I told him, I love the old stuff, but I just love what you're doing with the new stuff. And he really seemed really easy, laid back conversation. So if you ever get the opportunity, check it out. You'll have fun doing it. But he just seemed to appreciate, like, hey, because I told him I loved the last tour when you did the first half was classic, and then the second half, because I said that's what I've been wanting to hear live was those songs, and it was just a different, I just love the new stuff. I've said that a million times on here, but he always is questioning, do you guys like the new stuff? Do you like hearing it?
Yeah, it's interesting. I mean, and I wonder about like new metal fans, like younger metal fans. It's like, you know, when I think about that, I mean, you and I both love this entire catalog is, we love all that stuff. But I'm like, all right, if I'm like 13, 14, 15, am I going to find this stuff? I mean, am I going to grow up listening to this stuff? And then how am I going to, branch out to listen to Sweet and Lynch? And you know, I, it's funky for me to think about being a teenager discovering new music. And I know you can like, okay, I'm going to go listen to Led Zeppelin, and then I'm going to go backwards and listen to the stuff that I don't know. But it's really funky to like think about stuff like Stryper and then Michael Sweet and the Sweet and Lynch and then all the, iconic and all the other stuff. I'm just like, it's a confusing road to go down.
Yeah, because I mean, it was so simple back in the days, and I know times evolve and things change, but it was you, you back in the day, you had the radio. Hey, new single from so and so, or you had MTV, new single from so and
Yeah,
so, or you'd go to the record store. Hey, what album? I would go to the record store. I'd visit them, all the time. I mean, I got to know the manager of my local record store. And anytime I walked in, she goes, "Hey, here." She knew me coming in. She goes, "Hey, here's the list of the album release dates coming out." And
what's your local?
I'd be
What
like,
was
"Oh,
your local
cool.
record store?
What's that?"
What was your local record store?
It was one at North Lake Mall. I don't even remember what it was called. Well, let me put it to you this way. When I was a kid, it was Turtles. That's where I would go. It would be Turtles. But by the time I started driving, I think Turtles had already sold and they were gone, because that was like 89, 90, 91. So when I started driving, I would go to one by North Lake Mall after school or on the weekends or whatever. And I can remember the manager's face. She had long dark hair, and it was just like she just knew me, and she knew my name when I would come in. And I can't remember hers, but we'd go in and we would talk about music and what was coming out. And it was at North Lake Mall. That's I don't remember. It wasn't I think it might have been a chain, but it wasn't like a Tower Records, because Tower was just a little.
Yeah, Tower only had 2 locations in Atlanta, so
And
because I
the
used to work
Tower.
there.
And I would go to Tower when I would be down by Lenox Mall, but Lenox Mall was during that time it was like, oh man, Lenox Mall is so far away.
Not cool. I mean, yeah, it was.
And so, but yeah, so we would go in and do that. But now, like you said, I mean, people finding new music and getting to new music today, it's just
It's
totally
well,
different.
well, I do. One thing I will say about the digital distribution stuff. It's like every Friday I get on my phone and it's like, oh, it's New Music Friday. So anybody that's got anything that's new, it's gonna be on Spotify and it'll be on my phone. And I'm kind of getting into the routine of like, all right, cool. I got a new Corn single last Friday. And so Corn's one of my favorite bands. Like, all right, cool. Let's do this. And so it I guess my mentality of how I get new stuff is, it's I mean, I'm 55 years old. So when when it's Friday, I usually just, pick up my phone and be like, okay, what's up? And it's kind of cool because I mean, this it might be my stuff, like, the metal stuff or whatever, but it might be, the hip hop stuff, or, I don't usually listen to pop because I think it sucks. But yeah, it's you know, it's kind of adjust your brain a little bit for how you get new stuff. So
How you
for
discover it. Yeah, it's different nowadays.
Yeah, absolutely. But it's kind of fun when I wake up on Friday. I'm like, "Oh, crap. Okay, cool. It's New Music Friday." So
Yeah. But going on talking about the new Stryper album, he actually made another post and he said a little insight into the new album. He said it's our 18th studio album. And I believe the goal is he wants to do 21,
funny.
at least hit 21, both solo wise and Stryper wise. So they're at their 18th. He goes, it's a little more straight ahead in the best of ways. There's 11 songs. Why? He goes, because this one is louder, providing an extra push over the cliff. And then he jokes, we did something really different. I'm drumming, Robert is playing all the guitars, Perry is playing the cowbell, and Oz is playing the triangle. So joking about that. He goes, this is our best album to date. And he goes, it's more of a classic metal album rather than a modern metal album. Yet it sounds 100% 2026, which is what we were just talking about. He talked about the first single coming out. The guitar tones on this album are huge. It's all about tone. And he goes, it's thick and fat with a capital P. And then he goes, for a bunch of old dudes who sing about Jesus, we're kicking ass in the donkey sense of the word. So I don't offend any conservative evangelicals out there and taking names. Maybe we'll inspire a few other bands, cough, cough, to do the same, or maybe not. So
I mean, so we're sitting here looking at Stryper and Extreme. We're sitting here talking about this is our best record ever. And if Mike's talking about guitar tone, I'm here to listen because when when I listen to new music from my favorite bands, I'm always listening to the tone. And so yeah, I'm hey man, if you're saying the tone is part of the menu, then I am absolutely here for it. So but yeah, and so is Nuno talking about the same thing. He's like, okay, the tone is, pitch perfect. I'm like, okay, well, we'll see what's up. So golly, Stryper and Extreme. I,
both
I
coming
want
out with albums this year.
I want this to happen. I want them to tour.
That would be kind of cool to have those two tour together. Cause like we
Dude, that
said at
would
that,
be amazing. And I don't think it would be that hard to put together, but I think Extreme is probably bigger than Stryper, so it probably won't, but
yeah.
I don't know.
And
Anyways,
I know that would be a cool thing to see.
because like,
But yeah,
because they could do stuff on stage together. Because I mean, Mike doing they could do Boston stuff on stage together. I mean, it it would be really cool. But hey, me just throwing stuff in the air, but whatever.
and then this upcoming weekend, if the song does get released on Thursday, we can give our initial reactions to the first single that's coming up from the new Stryper album, which again is don't have a release date on that yet, but the new single looks like it's been pushed back to Thursday. So when we talk this upcoming weekend, we can talk about the new single.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah,
So
looking looking forward to it.
before we get to trivia, there is one thing I do want to we can probably have a small little discussion, debate on this, but let me share my screen for this one. Let's say that's not a, that's, yeah, this is it. So if you could only choose one,
Oh,
which one would you choose and why? And only if you had, if you've heard all four in their entirety. And I can say that I have heard all four. And so what we're talking about here is if you're listening and not watching, Michael Sweet put up four albums, and he put up the original, his first solo release, Michael Sweet, which was released in 94, Michael Sweet's Truth, which I want to say was 2000, One Sided War. I'd have to go look at the date on that one. And then, of course, the Master Plan that he released back in April, almost just a couple of months ago. So, which one would you choose and why? And I will say I love all of these albums, but I kind of know where I would lean and why. But what are your first initial thoughts when you see these four albums, and which one would you choose and why?
you could probably tell me what album I would choose.
One Sided War.
Yeah.
And One Sided War was released according to this. And again, I don't stick to whatever Wikipedia says, but One Sided War was released almost 10 years ago. August 2016 is
16.
what it what it says. But I love that album.
No, it's a great record. And I mean, I'm always going to slant towards the heavy. I mean, the songwriting structure and just from the guitar parts is really like amazing. It sounds like a very like late 80s metal band, but Mike's still doing Mike stuff. I mean, he's still writing like what we expect him to write like. And so I don't know that, but it's heavier than the rest of the records. So that's why I would pick that one. So
Yeah, and I mean you got a good lineup on this
yeah,
album as
yeah, and
well.
the freaking band is ridiculous.
Yeah, I mean you got Joel Hoekstra, who is with him in Iconic.
Yeah, I mean, I think didn't we talk about this record before?
No, we haven't talked about this record.
Okay, my bad.
Yeah, we haven't branched out into, at least that I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think well, I think we've casually talked about it, but we haven't broken it down like
Gotcha.
we've done some of his other stuff, like some of the other albums that we've talked about. But yeah, I mean, I agree with you on this one, but I would say I lean between two. And and again, as I say this, this isn't a knock on any of the other albums, because Truth is one of my favorite albums because it's got such a different vibe. For me, it had such a different sound and a vibe through it. And he brought back Oz Fox played the guitars on one of the songs from Truth. But when I look at these two albums, and I think too, sometimes music for me is who I get to listen to it with and who I get to enjoy it with. And I think that's one of the things with you and I. It's when it comes to the band Stryper that you and I can talk about them. We can talk about their music. We can talk, you know, because I mean, I've I bump into the casual fans, and I would call a casual Stryper fan somebody who has no idea of what they're doing now. They're just, I know what they did in the 80s. And, or they listened to them, they liked them, they still kind of, here to hell with the devil. And they don't mock them when you bring up the name Stryper. But that's one of the things I love about doing this, is because you and I are able to talk about one of our favorite bands. But for me, it's also an element of being able to listen to the music and have the people around me enjoying it in the now. And I know with where you're located, where I'm located, a lot of times we 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 see each other more here than we do in person. And it's so we're not like listening, we're not taking the new Stryper album and saying, hey, let's have a listening party and let's get together, even though we should do that.
You should do
And do that when it comes out. But I think about the albums that I can enjoy with people. And I remember when the first Michael Sweet album came out. That came out the year that I had just gotten engaged. And first of all, it was his first album minus the greatest hits. He did the greatest hits, Can't Stop the Rock in
Is it what?
91. What's that?
Was it that long ago?
Yeah, because
Wow.
he actually renamed the album 1994. So now if you look it up, it's called 1994 and instead of just Michael Sweet, because that's
Well,
the
I
year it
was
was
glad how
released.
long ago you got engaged. I was like,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, got engaged. Yeah, that long ago, and and it was the first full length album in a sense that he did after Against the Law, and we've talked about Against the Law and where that went, where the lyrics weren't as strong faith based wise on that one as we were used to, and I felt like lyrically and everything he was back with the lyrics on this one, but at the same time too, this was an album that I could put in and my now wife, who at the time was my fiance, we could listen to it together. And she actually enjoyed it. I mean, one of her favorite songs on there is Tomorrow Tonight, and it's the one with the saxophone, so it's got a really different vibe than, like One Sided War does. But then I fast forward to the Master Plan, and the Master Plan is another album that we can sit down, we can listen to, and it's not like the hard stuff. And, I'm not hearing turn it off, turn it off. No, she doesn't do that. I'm just kidding. Like, but we can sit there and enjoy those together. So I'm actually torn, me personally, between not Michael Sweet and the Master Plan. And I think the reason that I'm torn is because the Master Plan, the way that it comes out and the way that it is, it's just so different from anything he's done before. And I've really been enjoying that album recently. But I also have the memories and, can still pull out songs from 1994 and listen to that as so I'm really torn between those two, but that's the reason why I'm torn between those two and why.
No, that's a great comparison because yeah, I there is definitely some nostalgia. You just painted a picture. So but yeah, but I think the production on the Master Plan is really well done. So I really enjoy that. But I mean, like I say, I've already placed my vote, but that was a really great story. So thank you for that.
Yeah, so I think so if I was probably going to lean one way or another, like if you made me choose today, I'd probably say the first album, Michael Sweet, just because of where it represents in my time of life. But it's really a toss up for me though between the Master Plan and Michael Sweet's. I still call it Michael Sweet, even though they re-released it as 1994. But I still just, I mean, to me, it's still the Michael Sweet album. But yeah, it's still because I mean, he did videos for it, and I mean, back then, but the songs from the Master Plan are great. But yeah, so that's why I'm kind of torn between the two.
I think I need to listen to Master Plan more. But I mean, I love all these records, but I Master Plan's the one I've listened to the least. So probably need to dig into that a little bit more.
Yeah, that's one that I've been listening to, and we've been listening to here. So it definitely is a great album. But
But
let's let's
damn,
let's let's do some trivia here, man.
my gosh, we hadn't even gotten into the topic yet.
No, well, we're only 35 minutes in, so we're not too
Okay,
bad.
all right, not too
I
not
think it
bad
was
as usual.
yeah, because I think what happened was we talked 30 minutes before we actually got going with the show. So we've been sitting here for over an hour. So
All
it
right.
seems like
Uh,
we've been recording longer than we have. But
Yeah, even Ozzy was falling over. So
so what I'm going to do here, because like I said earlier, I am going to take our answers down because the answers are not on the page.
I hate this already.
And the answers are not on the page. And what we'll do is we'll go through here and we'll see and I'll write our answers down and then when it comes time to answer them, we'll see who scores against the most. So this one right here is just called the warm up general trivia. So I'm not, because I mean, in this book, I mean, you've got warm up albums, long and short, general trivia, lyrics, general trivia 3, personnel, general trivia 4, US Billboard albums, trivia 5, Music videos, trivia 6. Christian album chart, hard rock album chart, trivia 7. Album release year, trivia 8. Love songs, trivia 9. Who said it? Trivia 10. Who said it too? Length, trivia 11. Name the label, trivia 12. Magazines, trivia 13. Outside bands, trivia 14. Last questions, and then a scorecard. So it's okay. The scorecard basically is like if you get 400 to 449, you scored an A. You're obviously a huge Stryper fan. You scored a B, if you get this, you scored a C, bro, you call yourself a Stryper fan, you scored a D. And then if you score something else, it's someone obviously gave this book to you as a gift. So just kind of funny things there. But well, let's just do the general trivia one. And I'm looking, what did you pick up there? What base is that?
It's just my Ibanez is my default. I don't know. I don't know. It's my security blanket.
Okay, so
I have a couple.
So this first one, I don't even know. So I'm going to say right out of the gate, I'm a point down.
So hold on. So this is a basic question that you do not know.
Yes, it's one that I mentioned to you last night, and you were thinking about it.
God,
What two studios did the band use to record the Yellow and Black Attack? I have no clue. I was 11 years old.
I know they were both in. Yeah, I know they were. I can't give you the titles. That was the problem last night when we were talking about it. I know one was on Hollywood Boulevard, and I can't remember the freaking name of it. Yeah, I got nothing on this one. I can't give you the specific information. So
neither do I. So when I got the book, I was like, oh, I'll know these. And then I started thumbing through some of the questions. I'm like, I had no idea. So that's not an easy one, but we'll go on to question number
and
two.
That was a basic question.
General, that's what they call the warm up. General Trivia 1. But this next one I think we both know. I think we both know this one. How high did the music video for Free reach on Dial MTV?
Well, it's number one.
So we're both going to say number one for question number 2. Both number 1. Okay, so this one I think I know. So what 2 original songs did Michael Sweet write for the Best of Stryper compilation album?
Gee, are you kidding me?
So I'm going to go ahead and write down what I think they are.
Well, you can go ahead and answer it because I have no freaking idea.
So I think it's For You and Something. I think that's the name of the 2 songs off the 7 Best of Stryper album.
Yeah, I have nothing on that, so I hope you're right.
Okay. So, number 4, which album, I think you'll know this one. Which album was originally going to be a Michael Sweet solo record, but once Stryper united, they decided to make it a band project. And that would be the first album of the modern era.
Yeah, which is where I'm going to struggle.
Okay, so it gave multiple choices here, so maybe this will help you out. Fallen, Reborn, Murder by Pride, The Covering.
It's Fallen, right? It's either Fallen or Reborn.
So which one are you going to choose? I know which one I've already chosen.
It's Fallen or Reborn. Dang it. I'm going to choose Fallen.
Okay, so Daryl goes with Fallen. I am going with Reborn.
And you're going to be right, probably.
Daryl, just typing it in here. So I got record, so I can go back.
No, you're going to be right.
Okay, so number 5.
Wait, who got it right?
Well, I'm going through all the answers first. Because I don't want to turn to the page with the answers. Yeah, I don't want to turn to the page with the answers yet.
Okay.
So, okay, here you go. What year was the Rocks Regime demos released? 2001, 2005, 2007, 2011. 01, 05, 07, 011. Or 11.
So 01, 5, are those the lowest ones? 2, 1, I would have been, thinking 05?
Okay. I'm thinking 07, so I'm going to go.
The demos, though.
Yeah.
Thinking 05.
Okay. So Daryl is saying 5. Okay. We got that.
Ah, crap. You know what? I totally screwed that up.
You can change it.
Give me the choices again.
Oh 01, oh 05, oh 07, 2011.
No, you know what? I'm gonna stay there.
Okay. Now this one, what this question is, it doesn't give any multiple choice, but
Yeah.
what is the only original song on the covering?
And there's no multiple choice. Where's my tablet? Man, nah, there ain't no way. I don't have it. I don't have this one because it's the covering. I mean,
Would it help if it was like one of your favorite songs?
yeah, but I don't have a set list in front of me.
But let's put it this way. I haven't seen them or heard them perform this song live. Not saying that they haven't done it live, but I haven't seen them perform it live.
Well, I don't want to cheat, so I can tell you I have no freaking idea.
Okay.
And I love this record, but I, mm, dang.
I'll tell you what I wrote down, but you can't go back and say, "Oh yeah, I knew that."
No, dude. I mean, my my tablet's in the living room, and my phone's across from me, so I can't cheat. So
Okay. So I wrote down God.
okay,
Now this one, this question is kind of, I don't want to say it's stumping me, but it's sometimes when I listen to an album, I'm not necessarily, now that I'm thinking of all the albums that they've released in the modern era, I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm having to think through. It says name 3 of the 5 singles released from Fallen.
what, dude? This guy is. He's already pissing me off with these questions.
Yeah, because it's
Wait, isn't hold on. So we're talking about fall one.
so I'm going to say this because they perform this one live at every album. I mean, at every show now. I'm going to say Yahweh.
Yahweh is on this album, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Maybe Pride. Is Pride on this? I think Pride's on this one.
I'd have to, yeah, I'd have to see the track list.
So
I
I'm
mean,
going to say,
yeah, Yahweh was on this record, but that was about it.
yeah. So I'm going to say Yahweh, Pride, and Fallen.
I would, I think I would have, I definitely Yahweh and Fallen.
Yeah, I think because in the modern, I'm going extra here. Was Revelation on this album, or was it No More Hell to Pay?
I think it was somewhere.
Yeah, I think that was the first track on No More Hell to Pay. But I'm going to go with those 3.
No, I think that's solid.
This one I have no clue
Yeah,
because we know that at this point in at this time frame in the band, Timothy Gaines had left. Perry was announced, but they had already done the album Goddamn Evil. So the question was, who played bass on the Goddamn Evil album? So I don't know because Tim was gone. Perry wasn't quite in, even though he is in the album sleeve, the album jackets, because at that point he was part of the band.
That's all press.
Yeah. So do you remember? Because I don't remember.
I haven't read the liner notes on that particular record, but yeah, I don't know. And they had that one fill-in dude, and I can't remember what his name was. Dang it! But yeah, I can't give you anything on this particular subject. So, but yeah, it was a weird gap for them as far as bass players, and because yeah, Tim was gone and Perry hadn't quite got his footings, and so yeah, but you have to go probably read the liner notes to see exactly what was going on at that point in time.
So neither one of us know this, so that is a big fail for the both of us.
Hey, we can't know everything.
Okay, number 10, number 9, this one I don't know either. What did the original artwork? Oh, okay. I thought the question said who did. We'll know this one. What did the original artwork for To Hell with the Devil look like before they changed it to the black cover with the band's logo and album title? You've got the shirt, the 4 angels throwing Satan into the Satan into the abyss.
Yeah, what are they actually asking for?
What's it look like?
I mean, it looks like my T-shirt. I mean,
Yeah. I thought it said who did the original artwork, and that's why I said, "Oh,
God,
I don't
well,
know this one."
I couldn't
But
answer that one, but
yeah, so I'm just gonna make it easy. 4 angels throwing the devil into hell.
yeah,
I mean, we both should know it. You've got the T-shirt, and I've got the album, so we both know what it
I
looks like.
yeah, we both have the reference. So
So it shouldn't be any. Okay, so this one I'm not gonna know. Name 2 of the songs where Michael Sweet played the main guitar solo on Soldiers Under Command album.
two. All right, so back up to two solos that Mike played on Soldiers.
Yeah, where he did, yeah, 2 of the songs where he played the main guitar solo.
I would say one would be at the
Do you think
Rock.
First Love?
I I don't think it's First Love.
Okay,
I think it's the Rock, and I think it makes me want to sing.
okay. I'm not gonna guess anything because, yeah, I agree with you, Daryl. It's The Rock and makes me wanna sing. I have no clue. So I'm not sure which ones he did.
I don't. I mean,
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know either. I'm just guessing. But
So this one, if you don't know this one, it doesn't even give you the album, but we've talked about this before. It doesn't even give you the album of what it is. It just says, what Stryper song did legend Randy Jackson contribute bass on?
what? Get out of here.
Yeah, we've talked about this on the show before when we talked about the album.
Okay, brain.
So I typed my answer in, and then I'll tell you my answer after you.
After my brain rant, I, dude, I got absolutely nothing. Randy Trap. I'm sorry,
Not Randy
not Randy
Travis, Randy
Travis.
Jackson.
No, Randy Jackson. Sorry. God,
I'll give you a hint. It was not the modern era.
was
It
it
was the
before
classic
Journey?
era. What's
It was
that?
before Journey.
No,
No, not before Journey. Man, I
I
got
wrote
the,
down Shining Star.
yeah, that makes sense. I forgot about Shining Star.
Okay, we
But
talked
that's one.
about this one last night.
Yeah, that's one of my favorite songs. Cause yeah, I just totally forgot about it.
What song does Stryper cover on Murder by Pride?
And I sent you a text about this,
Yes, you did. But
and I was wrong.
I'm gonna type my song.
And I think I was wrong.
You want to go with that answer or do you want to give me another one?
Well, I mean, hell, you're gonna tell me that I'm wrong. Was
I
it?
mean, sometimes it's hard because the songs get, especially when you have a catalog of 17 songs, it's very hard for the songs to get.
So, so wait, what? Ah, damn it! I sent you.
You sent me Carry On Wayward Son.
Yeah, so I'm sticking with that, and I know it's wrong,
Okay.
but
I
it's
wrote
not
down Peace of Mind.
peace of mind. And freaking Boston, dude, that's cheating. Because you're
It's
already.
cheating.
It's no, not you. I'm just saying you're already in freaking Boston. So let's bring a Boston song to a Stryper record. I mean, yes, it sounds great, but come on. So yeah.
So Stryper has had 3 songs make the Billboard Hot 100 chart. Name the songs in the order they ranked.
Oh, good God.
23, 71, and 88. Well, 23. Okay, so 23, I know which one I'm going to write down for that.
Well, we know it's calling on you.
I'm actually writing down honestly.
So what are the rankings again?
23, 71, and 88. So if you're listening or watching, keep in mind the Billboard Hot 100 is not the MTV dial thing. So those two don't sync up with each other.
It's sales people. So calling on you is somewhere in there, and free is somewhere in there. What's the last chart position?
88.
88. That's Hall with the Devil. The last one's tough.
Yeah. So their highest charting song was 23, their second was 71, and their third was 88.
Well, it's got to be Calling on You and Free are the first two. But what's the last one? Dang it. It's got to be To Hell with the Devil, I think. I mean, but what do I know?
Okay.
You
I'll
got the
tell you
number.
what I'm going with, and I'll tell you why I went with this.
All right.
I'm going with Honestly as number 23.
You know what? I think. Okay, that's a brain fart on my part.
Yeah, I'm going with Honestly because I felt like that song was the one that put them more on the map than
No,
Calling on You and Free did. So then I think about the songs that were released after Honestly, because after Honestly, there was no more songs released off of To Hell with the Devil that I'm aware of.
well.
So
You just moved all of my stuff like back. Honestly, is the front runner, and then we have Calling on You and Free. I'm not sure exactly what order that would be on, but there's the three songs. So
I actually put down Honestly, Always There for You, and then I Believe in You.
really,
Yeah. And the
okay,
reason I did that was because I felt like, again, that Honestly took them high, gave them more popularity. And then what were the next songs released after Honestly? It was Always There for You and I Believe in You. So I felt like that those followed their highest. So we'll see. I don't know. I'm guessing on that one. I'm pretty sure Honestly was number one, though. There or not number one, but their highest charting one.
no, I would I wasn't even thinking that way, but yes, I'm pretty sure you're right. But yeah,
Okay, I've heard this story before. Which guitar player turned down a spot in the band partially because he didn't want to wear the classic black and yellow striped outfits?
CC DeVille.
Yep. Yeah, it actually gave us a multiple choice. One was Slash, one was Warren DeMartini, CC DeVille, and Brent Muscat. So
Dude, if
I'm saying
any of
CC
those
DeVille.
if any of those other guitar players would have been Stryper, I would just lose respect for them because they're all insane, great. I mean, Warren D. Slash Warren D. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's making my head explode just thinking about the Minion Stryper, and I love Stryper, but y'all y'all did your thing, and I mean, freaking Slash and Stryper. What?
So here's the last question from this round. And this one I'm going to take a total because there's two people I'm thinking about when I just read this question. Which superstar? No, now I don't even know. Which superstar rock singer hosted a Striper 80s trivia night in 2023 in an exclusive event for members of the Stripers fan club? And this was before I joined Patreon. So I'm thinking that it must have been a Patreon thing. But which superstar rock singer hosted a 80s trivia night on Striper in 2023? I have no idea.
Let's think about that for a second. So you don't have it. And you don't have the answer.
No, I don't know it. Because what I was going to say first was when I read the question initially right here, first thing that popped into my mind was Larry the Cable Guy, because he's talked about, if I'm wrong, correct me somebody, but he's talked about how much of a Striper fan he's been. And then there's the wrestler, and I can't think of his name, that's talked about Chris Jericho. He would have been the other person
Oh,
because
yeah.
both Chris Jericho and Larry the Cable Guy are on the back of the Honestly book, given their their views, along with Dave Mustaine and Eddie Trunk. But
Yeah, their Jericho is a huge star.
but when they say superstar rock singer, that's where my mind goes. I have no clue.
Well, that's the problem. It's like, okay, what are you singing? It's that's the problem. It's like, okay, what are you singing? If you're trying to sing Striper stuff.
So that was the thing when I read through these questions aren't as easy as somebody would think they are.
No, they're not. No,
So it makes
these are
that's what
these are
makes it
good.
fun and entertaining.
Yeah, they're good questions for sure.
So
So, so, so if I can just guess something, you can grab the answer.
yeah, I've got the answers here now, which I'm
Okay,
going to go
okay.
through.
So read the question one more time.
Which superstar rock singer hosted a Stryper 80s trivia night in 2023 in an exclusive event for members of Stryper's fan club? Now that I'm looking at the answer, I said, oh, I have no idea.
Man, that is a hard one because I'm like, okay, well, who's singing this material, and if he's like a big time big time rock star, it's not Axel, it's not Steve Perry, it's like, man, I don't have any freaking idea.
Okay, so
I
both
need
of
looking
us.
to see what these answers are. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Okay, so let's go back through the questions again and see how we scored up. So remember, the first question was, what two studios did the band use to record the Yellow and Black Attack? So I had no clue. You gave the cities, but weren't sure. But it was Music Grinder Studios and Mad Dog Studios.
Gosh, Mad Dog. Okay, yeah,
So we both got no points for that.
nothing.
So the second question was, how high did the music video for Free reach on Dial MTV? We both said number one, which is correct. We both get a point. So, all right. The third question, what two original songs did Michael write for the Seven The Best of Stryper compilation album? You weren't sure, so I said Something and For You, and that was correct.
Okay, yeah, I had nothing on that one, so
Yeah, the reason I remember that one is because one time a while back, it's been plenty of episodes ago. I don't know which episode it was, but we talked about For You and how some fan did a video for You from the movie The Passion of the Christ by Mel Gibson. And I always liked how they mocked it up and did that together. And so I always knew For You was on there, and then I just remembered Something being on there. And to me, two lost and forgotten Stryper songs that just happened to fall on a greatest hits album. Which album was originally going to be a Michael Sweet solo record? You said Fallen, I said Reborn, and the correct answer is Reborn.
chocolate.
Because Reborn was the album that came out in '05, and that's when they weren't back together again. They weren't back together yet. And Fallen came out in 15, I think. So it was about 10 years after Reborn. What year was the Rocks Regime demos released? You had said '05. I had said '07. And the correct answer is '07.
As I predicted, I'm gonna get my ass kicked.
I'm sorry.
So hey, no worries.
The original song on the covering, I had said God. You had said you weren't sure. And the answer was God. Okay, name three of the five singles released from Fallen. So we both said Yahweh. I think we both had said Fallen. Yeah, we both said Yahweh, Pride, and Fallen. And then I guess we got it wrong because Pride is not one of the listed songs on here. What album was Fallen? Was it on No More Hell to Pay? Let me see. Stryper. Let's go to their discography. Because I know that they did that album, No More Hell to Pay. What was the track list? What did I say? Pride? Yeah. Fallen? Yeah, Pride was on here, but they didn't list that one here, which is interesting. You know what? I'm going to give us a point for that because the reason I'm going to do that is because they actually did a video for Pride. And that's why I said Pride. So we'll take the point on that. Yeah, because Stryper Pride official music video. I was just making sure I wasn't dreaming about something. So
No,
so
that was
Pri-
actually a really good video.
yeah, so Pride was on here, but they listed four songs. They said Yahweh. No, they listed five: Yahweh, Fallen, Big Screen Lies, Let There Be Light, and After Forever. So,
After
and the only reason I'm giving ourselves a point is because Pride was a video. Yeah, After Forever is a good song off of that. Okay, number 8. was who played bass on the goddamn Evil album, and that was John O'Boyle. Are you familiar with him?
Not off the top of my head, but dang it.
I mean, neither one of us knew the answer to that one.
Yeah, when I was looking the other day, I can't remember because he's affiliated with the Michael Sweet like solo
Yeah,
stuff,
he is.
and so I was like, okay, Lomenzo and all these other guys. It's like I didn't I didn't know who he was, so the only thing I could like you know kind of associate him with was Michael Sweet's solo stuff. So didn't have a lot of association with him as a player. So
Yeah, because what's interesting, I'm looking him up right now, and maybe if somebody, I mean, this says right here that he's a musician and performer with 2 credits across their career. Their performing careers closely associated with Stryper. So, I mean, Stryper and Michael Sweet would be the 2, credits in a sense, but I just don't, I mean, I don't see,
he's
let's,
probably I didn't look up his age, but I would assume he's probably a young guy.
yeah, because I mean, I'm looking here and looks like it's probably, well, no, there's the V Now or Ever. Yeah, I don't, yeah. It mostly has been Stryper and Michael Sweet, mostly Michael Sweet playing bass for him on some of his
How
solo albums.
how old is he?
It doesn't say.
Okay, yeah, I would assume he's a young cat. 'Cause that's the only two things I could pull him up to, as well. So I mean, feel like he hasn't done a lot of stuff as his discography kind of says, but I mean, he's a talented dude. I mean, from what I've heard of him, he's a talented player. But
Yeah. So number 9, what did the original artwork for To Hell with the Devil look like? We both got that right. You know, he said 4 long-tailed angels throwing the devil into a fiery pit. We basically said 4 angels throwing the devil into hell. So we got that right.
yeah, well, thanks for a
A
raise.
point for us. So name 2 of the songs where Michael played the main guitar solo on the Soldiers Under Command album. I should have gone with my gut because First Love was one of them.
Is that real?
Yeah. But
Crap.
you had said The Rock and The Rock That Makes Me Roll and Makes Me Want to Sing. So the songs listed were First Love, The Rock That Makes Me Roll, Reach Out, and Waiting for a Love That's Real. So Daryl gets half a point.
Dang it.
I get none.
That's
I should have at least written down First Love, but I wrote down not sure.
but have it that doesn't make any sense because the first love solo is him at Oz the whole way through. There's no like split offs to where one dude is doing one thing and then one dude's doing another thing. I
Going back to
Because if you listen to the song, the solo starts with the duel and it doesn't. I don't think it stops.
let's see. I wonder. Let's just see.
See, hold
I
on.
wonder if this will be on here or not. Where's this one at? Here's the album. Are there liner notes on the inside? No, so it's not going to tell me there. Let's see. Got to put on my readers because this is so small.
Dude, I was trying to read some liner notes the other day. I was like, oh my god, yeah, I was annoyed. But yeah, that whole solo on because it goes all the way through with dual solos, and then it comes back into that gang vocal with Mike singing that and there is no love like the first love. Okay.
All right. Well, maybe you should email them then and give your assessment of the song.
I mean, seriously, the solo is not that long, but the whole thing is Mike and Oz. So at least I mean I need to go back and listen to the song before I start, you know, emailing people. But
Yeah, because this one here, I'm just going to see what this says. Yeah, I
because
mean,
I can hear it in my head. I mean,
okay, let's see what's this say.
because yeah, when it comes back out of the solo, you get these giant vocals, and you get Mike doing Mike things. There's no love like the love of your first love, but you have all big vocals, but there's no more guitar solo after that. So
Let me see. Can I
yeah,
search in
it's I
here?
don't know. Maybe I'm crazy.
Yeah, because I'm looking here. Give me just a second because AI pulls up immediately. The soaring guitar solo on the song First Love by Stryper is played by the band's frontman and lead guitarist Michael Sweet, and it has 4 references of where it pulled that from.
Yeah, but it's an alto solo. So you've got Oz playing one part and you got Mike playing the other part. I I don't know. Okay, maybe I'm just dumb. I mean,
I'm not doubting you. I'm because you know me, I'm not the musician. I can't. I mean, I can tell when there's a duo guitar
yeah,
going
that's
on,
the
but I've
thing.
never been
Well,
able
that's what
to
I'm talking
tell.
about. That's what I'm
Yeah.
talking about. They're doing a duo going into that piece, and there's nobody that really like steps out and does their thing. And but hey, I wasn't there, so I don't know. I love the solo in that song.
Yeah. I know
So,
you do.
but hey, whatever.
All right, so that moves us to question number 11. Where do my answers go? I'm looking at them. What Stryper song did legend Randy Jackson contribute bass on? I
Gosh,
said Stryper. I said Shining Star. You weren't sure, and Shining Star is the correct answer. Next one was
yeah,
what song did Stryper cover on Murder by Pride? I said Peace of Mind, and you said Carry On, and it was Peace of Mind.
which is cheating because you're already in freaking Boston. So
So, and I'm going to say this I just used this one, the 3 songs that made the Billboard Hot 100 chart, and then also name the songs in the order they ranked. So I'm going to say I knew 23, or I feel like I'm pretty certain about 23, but I guessed at 71 and 88. So I wouldn't say that I was 100% accurate. But my reasoning was when did they finally, what song did they hit higher at and what gave them the most recognition and what songs came after that? So I basically went, honestly, then that was the last track from To Hell with the Devil. Then it was Always There for You. And then I Believe in You. And that's the order that I went in of the songs that actually charted. And you leaned more towards the songs on To Hell with the Devil that actually charted. And before I do that, where is this? Because I'm pretty sure, I don't know if this will tell me or not. To Hell with the Devil. No, of course it doesn't. Because sometimes, when you go onto Wikipedia, it tells you the singles that were released. I'm thinking of the MTV singles, the videos that were done. So according to this, the songs that did chart were Honestly, Then Always There for You, and I Believe in You, going in that order.
really, I believe in you. I'm surprised.
I mean, it charted at 88, so it didn't. So their only single that broke the top 40 was Honestly.
Right. Which
And
I totally forgot about, which because I'm an idiot. But yeah, yeah, I believe in you. I'm kind of surprised about that one.
so then we both were right on question number 14. Which guitar player turned down a spot in the band partially because he didn't want to wear the classic black and yellow? And that was C. DeVille.
Okay. Yeah,
And
he
then
was
the last question, neither one of us had any clue about.
okay.
And I'll be honest, yeah, maybe I know them, but I couldn't tell you a song that they ever sung. Which superstar rock singer hosted a Stryper 80s trivia night in 2023 and an exclusive event for member of the Strypers fan? Jarrett Reddick of Bowling for Soup.
Okay, well, I know who Bowling for Soup is. I couldn't tell you who the hell that singer is. That do you know why I know who Bowling for Soup is? Because they wrote the song for the cartoon Phineas and Ferb, which my daughters love, and which actually I still love. But that's how I know Bowling for Soup, and I'm sure that's how they've made the majority of their money at this point. But but yeah, Phineas and Ferb is in syndication. So I'm sure they're getting in check. So, but yeah, I that's a weird one.
Yeah, that is a weird one. I didn't know that. So, but that round finishes at 11 points for me and 4.5 points for you.
Yeah, well, I didn't come into this thing thinking I was gonna win. So
Here's the next one. This one we should knock out pretty quickly.
okay,
So it says, put the albums below in order of their official release. So, but then I got to figure out a way to put them up on the screen because they don't put all the albums on here because the Yellow and Black Attack is not listed. So it's like, put the other albums in order. So it's kind of making you think a little bit like, okay, if Yellow and Black was their first one, what was the next one that they released?
I mean, don't we know all this already?
Yeah, we should. We should know this because, I mean, come on. I mean, I don't have to read them out, but after Yellow and Black, you have Soldiers, then you have To Hell, and God We Trust, Against the Law, abbreviated ATL, not to be confused with Atlanta.
A yeah,
He does not have on here Can't Stop the Rock, so we don't need to do that one. So then you jump from Can't Stop the Rock to Reborn. No, 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 no. One of them's on here is Seven, the Best of Stryper. So then Seven, the Best of Stryper, then Reborn, then Murder. And then after Murder, he does have Second Coming on here. And then after Second Coming, that's when they get into even more of the new era, which is No More Hell. And if you disagree with any of it, let me know.
now you're good so far.
After No More Hell was Fallen. Yeah, I did get Second Coming. Did get In God We Trust. So When We Were Kings is going to be the last one, unless he has the Christmas album on here. Even the Devil Believes was 2020. But then the Final Battle falls in after that. Goddamn Evil falls in between Fallen and Even the Devil Believes. We got 7. No More Hell to Pay. The Covering. Crap. What came first? The Covering or Second Coming? Crap. I think The Covering came before Second Coming.
I think I agree with you.
Okay, so let me make sure. It says 15 albums. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. So this is what I wrote down based upon the ones that he wrote. Soldiers, To Hell, and God We Trust, Against the Law. 7, Reborn, Murder, The Covering, Second Coming, No More Hell, Fallen, Goddamn Evil, Even the Devil Believes, Final Battle, and When We Were Kings.
It sounds right in my head. Doesn't make
Okay.
it, but it sounds right.
The only one I am unsure of, but I think The Covering came out before Second Coming. That's the only one I'm concerned about. But I'm pretty sure the other ones are right. So, Soldiers, To Hell, and God We Trust, Against the Law, 7, Reborn, Murder. Yes, we were right. The Covering
The cover, yeah, we're right. Yeah, the cover
came out before Second Coming. No More Hell to Pay, Fallen, Goddamn Evil, Even the Devil Believes. So we both got a big 15 out of 15 on that one.
Good for us.
But there's a lot more. There's a lot more to the book that is in there. So I mean, we could maybe just continue to play and have a
That's
little
a
fun.
crazy book, man. We need to wrangle this guy and like, why the heck would you write this book?
No, maybe we can get in touch with him and just talk to him
I mean,
about.
seriously, I would love to talk to this dude.
I've got his email, so I'll send him an email.
Yeah, totally.
And
I would love to talk to this guy.
and so, but yeah, this is. But I mean, I mean, it's like I said. There's. Let me see. At the beginning, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 31 different sections.
Yeah, I was talking to Chat GPT this morning as I was listening to my yacht rock and just like asking, it's like, hey, give me some random Stryper trivia questions. And it literally like broke down like, okay, well, do you want the easy questions? Or do you want the like mid fan questions? Or do you want the like hardcore fan questions? I was like, are you freaking kidding me? So it was really interesting because like and I always call her she. I don't know why, but yeah, she was like breaking everything down. It's like, okay, here's the levels. So no, this was fun. I enjoyed it, but I would like to talk to this dude and like kind of talk to him about what in the heck.
Yeah, I mean, I
Why
just
would you
typed
want
in
to do this?
just for fun. I just typed in to Gemini. I just said, "Give me some hard Stryper trivia questions," and it said, "Here are the 10 deep cut trivia questions about them." No casual. What does Isaiah 53:5 questions here? So this one, I have no clue. It said before changing their name to Stryper in '83, they were famously known as Rock's Regime. However, what was the original name? Well, I don't even know if this is true or not because it says here, what was the original name the Fox brothers used?
Get a barbecue joint?
I know. But the yellow and black origin, while the band is legendary for their yellow and black stripes, who actually suggested that specific color scheme? I would say Robert, but from what I remember from honestly reading the book,
Yeah, it was Robert. I
see,
knew
I don't
that.
know if these answers
I
are
hadn't even
right.
read the book, so
Yeah,
but
I
there's
don't
a lot
even,
of stuff. There's a lot of look from what I was digging through this morning. There's a lot of stuff in the book that if you're dealing with the AI, that will come from it. So I mean, hey, whatever.
yeah, I don't trust some of those answers that Gemini just gave me because I'm like, that's not what I remember honestly the book actually saying. So,
Yeah. No, I got honestly loaded on my Kindle, and the new Kindle is cool because it syncs with your Audible stuff. So I'm like, all right, I can read the book and the Audible will read to me as I'm reading the book, which is what I really kind of dig. So I haven't read that yet, but I am absolutely going to do that soon. So
so there we are. We're at an hour and a half in, episode 36, where
because
we did some, we
we
talked some
can't
things
shut
about the new
up.
album. We talked about the 4 albums that Michael Sweet, and we did a little trivia. So, but that was fun.
That
Just
was fun. I
trying to
mean,
rack our brains on,
fun for you.
hey, just think of it as golf. The lowest score wins.
That's not how that works, bro.
I know. Maybe I should go up to my local bar and say, "Hey, I got a great night for trivia night. Everything Striper, and I use all these
Somebody would
questions."
punch you in the face.
But hey, guys, we if you liked what you heard today, you want to keep listening, be sure to like and subscribe. You know, we're on YouTube, Apple, what's the other one? Spotify. You know, be sure to like and listen. And if you have any comments, don't forget to give us some love or give us some feedback. We love it. But thanks again. And next week, we are going to talk about the new song that hopefully comes out this week. Hopefully, again, it was supposed to be released. If you're listening on Tuesday, the 26th of May, it was supposed to be released today, but it looks like it got pushed back a couple of days to May 28th. So hopefully, we'll be able to get in there and hear the song and give our feedback by the time we get back together this upcoming week.
Yep, for sure, for sure. Yeah, love you guys. This is always fun, and not for nothing. We're doing this on Memorial Day, so happy for all. Well, happy, probably a bad word, but thankful for all those people that have given their service to our country, and it's rough sometimes, but I am very thankful for all those people that given the ultimate sacrifice. So
Yes. Yeah. They always say Memorial Day is not about a parade and about barbecues. It's really supposed to be a solemn holiday to remember those that, like you just said, gave the ultimate sacrifice. So very thankful for them and for their family members
absolutely,
who walk through those that did give the ultimate sacrifice. So thank you for
yeah,
those who did, who allow us to live
absolutely,
in this land of freedom.
yeah, absolutely.
All right, man.
All right,
Thanks. We'll see you next week right here on To Hell with the Podcast. We are a wrap for episode 36, and it was a lot of fun. And we will see you next week right here on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. Thanks for listening, and you guys have a great week.
Later, y'all.